We don't walk in your shoes. We all have different shoes, that's why. Different size feet. Yeah. But God wants us to walk with Him. And when we do that, Joe, He will help us in our journey. Well, I wish He'd help me in my journey. That I didn't give my heart to Him, you see. Because I'm a hardhead. I wonder if you're a hardhead too. Have you really given your heart to God? I don't know, only you can answer that. But when I was in school, you know what happened? What? I didn't have any friends. Well, tell us about it. And because I don't know if I can do this. Going back in time like this and thinking about how it was, it kind of hurts. It kind of hurts. It hurts because things happened when I was in school. Like what? Well, kids always making fun of me like you did on the role play. Hey Joe, is that your nose? Hey Joe, is that your lower lip? Hey Joe, this and that. And the worst thing was some of the things they did in school. Like what? Well, the girls used to pass notes about me in class that weren't true. Girls are really sneaky that way. Girls are sneaky? Yeah, really sneaky. They pass notes around, you know, and they say things about you that aren't true. What'd they do to you? They said that I didn't brush my teeth and I had bad breath. But I did. That wasn't true. I even put Crest toothpaste on it, you know. Yeah. Is that all? No, they did other things too. They said I didn't take a shower and use deodorant, and I stunk. Well, did you? No, that wasn't true either. I did that every day. Girls are sneaky. Gotta be careful, guys, yeah. Well, was that all? What did the guys do? Oh, the guys are bad too. You know what they would do? There'd be a bully in my class and he'd stick out his foot and he'd trip me. And everybody in the class would laugh and look at me. Sorry about that, yeah. Is that all? No. Then I'd be walking down the hallway, you know, from one class to the other class, just like you do when you're in school. And somebody would come up behind me and shove me into a bunch of other kids going the other way, and they'd all turn around and they'd say, "Hey, watch where you're going, Joe." Yeah. Was that it? No. I wish that was it. I didn't have any friends, and I remember one time I was in the cafeteria eating my lunch, and I always sat by myself because I had no friends. And this day, 4 guys came by and they sat down at my table. And I was thinking, hey, maybe this will be the day I have friends. That'd be nice. I don't know what it's like to have one. Never mind having 4. But what happened? It was not what I thought. What do you mean? Well, they bent down like this, and then they bent down like that, and they took that something in their hand, and then they threw it on the dinner tray. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah. And everybody around me, left, right, front, behind, you know, they all had a riot of laughing. Wait a minute. What? You mean to tell me that nobody quietly reported what was going on to the teacher or the counselor or the principal? Why would they want to do that? I mean, I had no friends. You see, I was too short to play basketball. I was too small to play football. I couldn't hit the baseball. And so I was never picked on the team. I was always left out. Always left out. Nobody picked me for nothing, man. It was a real joke. Is that what you kids do? Leave people out just so you pump yourself up? Well, I don't know if they do or not. I suppose they could. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, and that's how it was. And so that continued, and then when I got into middle school, I decided I'd had enough. I was filled up to the gills with this being picked on, you know? So I became a bully. How about that? Yeah. Then I became somebody. Yeah, people were afraid of me, man. And nobody messed with me again. And then when I got to high school, I joined a gang. And then I started selling drugs, and I had a lot of money, and I bought a car. I even had some girls ride with the car. Yeah, we had lots of fun, yeah. But selling drugs, it was my downfall. I ended up in the slammer. And that's why I'm in the slammer now. I got 25 years for trying to sell them drugs, you see. So don't sell drugs, because it doesn't look good on your resume. Yeah, it doesn't look good. And doing all that time isn't good either.
Well, Joe, I'm sorry to hear that. Anything you want to say?
Well, there's not much to say. You need to learn in school, I gotta tell you that, just like you were saying.
When I was in China, Joe, the kids focus when they come into class. They eliminate the distraction of bullying.
Yeah, they need to do that here. I hope you do that. You can make a difference by eliminating that in your life. Yeah.
Well, Joe, what could we do to help you?
Well, I don't know. Be my friend, I guess.
What about in their school? What if they have somebody that's like you that's always left out? What could they do?
Well, maybe you could be a friend. Maybe you could stand up to them, you know? Say, hey, we don't do that around here because we're eliminating the distractions so we can learn. We live in a global economy now.
That's right. If you want to get a good job and compete in this global economy, you know, the public schools, they say global education. That's a word I've noticed the last couple of years. That's because we have a global economy. And when these young people grow up, they're going to be competing for jobs with Chinese and Vietnamese and other nations. And all the jobs aren't going to be here. You might be working in England or something with a job. But it's only the people who have that good education.
That's right. If you fool around and flush it down the toilet because you spent time bullying, you're going to be left out. You're going to be on the short end of the stick. You might even be in jail like me.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you got to say, Deputy Bob?
I'd like to say one more thing in closing.
What's that?
Young people, when you get up tomorrow, you go to school, I want you to look, when you're combing your hair or you're brushing your teeth and you're looking in that mirror in the bathroom.
What? Look at what?
I want you to look at that person that's looking right back at you.
Oh, they're looking at each other. I mean, like when I get in there, I see that nug, and I look at the nug that looks like my nug, and I look eyeball to eyeball like that.
Mm-hmm. And when you make eye contact with yourself, ask yourself, am I lifting people up or am I tearing people down?
Well, that's a good question. Do I lift people up or do I tear them down? You got to decide what you're going to do. You got to make a stand, not just to yourself, but to your class and your classmates. If you want America to be a great economy again,
great economy would be nice. We're not number one anymore, you know.
I know we're not. China is way ahead of us. Yeah.
But America, when I was growing up, made some fine things. But now when I go to Walmart, I look in the back of the things I buy and everything's made in China. What happened to America?
I don't know. I guess we flushed ourselves down the toilet with bullying, distractions like that.
So, let's eliminate the distractions. Let's focus on learning.
Because it's no joke. It is no joke.